today is March 1st. We have had kind of quite a few like crazy weeks here in the Netherlands. We had a few storms. Storm Eunice did quite a bit of damage to the area, and also several people died. So that was unfortunate. And then now the news of what's happening in Ukraine, just following that, has been on my mind a lot, and I think everybody else's. Yeah, what else? There was also like a crazy hostage situation in Amsterdam at the Apple store. Yesterday was really nice out. It was lekker, it was sunny. Today, not so nice, but I do see some flowers starting to bloom over here, and I feel like spring is gonna come sooner than we think. I guess first of all, I just wanna like thank everybody, all the Dutch people especially, who are commenting on my videos. You know, when I created the channel, it was originally supposed to be more for like my family and friends back home, and like especially my mom, to just see me happy and feel connected to me. And so I wasn't really expecting Dutch people to watch at all, to be honest. So yeah, at first I was kind of a little bit uncomfortable just to be so vulnerable and put yourself out there, but honestly, it's just, I just think it's nice that people here care at all like what an immigrant has to say. I think, you know, in America, unfortunately, immigrant voices are not really heard, and their stories are not really highlighted, their experiences are not really listened to in the way that they should be. And I think that's a shame, because, you know, there's a lot of perspective there. So yeah, I just think it's nice that you guys are commenting, and all of them have been just really friendly, welcoming me to the country and giving me advice, and just saying like, oh, I think your son would like this place, you should take him here, or just giving me advice on my career, or just really positive, nice things to say. I mean, obviously there have been a few people, a few haters, but that's okay. I mean, there was one guy who just said like, please go home, you don't understand this country. And my husband and I were laughing like, at least he said please. Today I thought that I would address why we left California and moved here to the Netherlands. My number one reason for leaving was the weather. The wildfires. So in California, there's pretty much a wildfire season now. The last few years, it's been, yeah, really bad.
Fires burning in California. The state has the worst air quality across the country right now. So many communities have just burnt down. And a lot of people, you know, have fire insurance, but when it comes to like actually being reimbursed, the insurance companies are like, oh, we don't have the money to reimburse everyone. So I mean, it's just crazy. It was getting really scary. The smoke alone, I remember, you know, last September, the smoke was just so bad. We had invested in several air purifiers for our house, and we spent a lot of money on those, and still it just smelled like smoke in our house. It just comes through the vents. So it just became so unbearable. The heat, I mean, I have a screenshot of the town that I lived in, Dublin, was like 111 degrees. And you know, when it's that hot, there's really like no time of day that you can go out. And I remember just wanting to walk my son. I would wake up early and I'd be like, okay, let's get out and beat the heat. But literally even like 8, 9 a.m., it's so hot. So Yeah, and here, like, you will not hear me complain about the weather here, because although there are a lot of cold days, there's an incredibly simple solution in my mind. I mean, you put a jacket on, and if I have to put my baby in 3 layers, like, that's what I'll do to go outside. The summers were getting longer and hotter, and you know, I have this thyroid issue, this autoimmune disease. I really cannot tolerate heat to that level. So yeah, I am so much happier here with the weather. Want to learn more about why these wildfires are happening? There's several reasons, but yeah, and the government is not doing anything about it, and people are suffering every year, and it was just getting worse and worse. So yeah, the second reason we left was the political climate was just crazy. I'm sure the news covered a lot that was going on, such as the Capitol riots and a lot of that chaos, but maybe what you guys over here didn't see was that chaos, that hostility, that political kind of turmoil was also happening on a smaller scale, like within communities, within families. You know, a lot of friendships and relationships that were ruined just from the 2016 election, which is really sad, because it's like, who did you vote for? Arguments just out in the community. There was a situation where a mural supporting the Black Lives Matter movement was painted, and then someone else came and actually, I think, pulled a gun on the guy and like painted over it. So we were seeing so much more of that, and just so many protests. Everything was so divided. We were just sick of it. And moving here and just seeing like what a healthy democracy looks like, it's very refreshing. It's not just two sides. So yeah, we were getting really, really sick of just all of the crazy politics that were going on. Third major reason that we left was for a better quality of life, a better balance in our lives. And what I mean by that is, you know, like, we were new parents and we were struggling. We just could not manage. Pretty much to be able to afford a home and live comfortably in California, both parents have to be working full-time. They both have to be making good salaries. And we just could barely get by with childcare, with our family life. It was so stressful. And here, you know, there's a lot more flexibility in terms of like, if one parent wants to maybe work part-time, or like I explained, the Papadag, and like Oma and Opa will take a day, and you know, the daycares are really affordable. Like, everything is more supportive of the parents. We did have family in the area, but like, everybody works just as many hours as we do. Like, that's all anybody ever does there is work, work, work. So it's unfortunate because I think my generation of kids was probably the last generation to have the kind of childhood that I had. Like, you know, back then it was not uncommon for maybe the mom to stay at home. I mean, my mom was a stay-at-home mom, and then my dad had a blue-collar job, and we were still able to afford a house. A lot of families, middle-class families, were able to afford a house with a garage and sometimes even a swimming pool. Like, that was possible back then. But now, like, oh my God, it just is so hard to get by. You know, I know that like I will never make the kind of money that I was making over there, but like, that kind of thing is not important to me anymore, you know, like, especially just like, what was I doing with
with the money. Like, I was over consuming, especially becoming a mom. I just crave different things out of life, and that stuff, the money and the big house, like none of that is appealing to me anymore. I heard that the mothers here, when they are newly postpartum, the government literally pays for a Kraamzorg, a nurse, to come to your house every day for a couple weeks, and they are willing to help you, not just with, like, you know, medical, looking at your body and stuff, but they will like do your dishes, they will clean for you. Like, do you understand how crazy that is to me? Like, if I had had something like that, oh my God. Like, in general, just the mothers are supported more, and they have that kind of village that every mother deserves, honestly. Obviously there's more reasons than that, but to sum it up, like, we just weren't happy. Hopefully that explains it, puts it into a better perspective on why we left. My husband has been asking me to move here for years, and I was never willing, but after the pandemic and all of the just trauma of 2020, I think a lot of people just wanted a fresh start, you know? So here I am, here's my new home. And thanks everyone again for commenting, and yeah, I'll see you next time.